How's it going, brothers and sisters? I just wanted to share something. About 2 years ago, I started making videos. It started from John 17. When I started following the Lord, I started seeing some phenomenal, weird stuff, right? And numbers was the most thing I would see. And around that time, for some reason, I was seeing 17. And then I started noticing Cubs number 17, Bryant. And I see it everywhere, right? And I quite didn't understand why I was seeing 17. And then I started saying that pay attention to number 17 because this is a sign God's trying to reveal something to you guys and for you guys to understand. So, but I never got to the point of explaining what it meant. Well, I did say it was regarding John 17. But I'm gonna see what I could do right now in this short amount of time. So John 17 is a prayer for everyone who believes in the Lord, who believe in Jesus. It's about unity, one with the Father, one with the Son, one with the Holy Spirit, oneness. Everything is oneness with God. So what this had to do with the World Series. So at the time, there was the presidential election, voting for the presidents and stuff. And there was a lot of, bashing of one another, unprofessional political things, And a lot of times what I notice through the Lord now is that we are psychological manipulated. So we do things not, how you say, making decisions or making choices or voting on our own will. We're pretty much manipulated to that direction depending on the information you receive. So a lot of people are being manipulated to go this way or go that way, and that's how it's been for years. But World Series were happening at that time. So even though this hot mess was happening politically wise, the World Series was more exciting than anything. Why? First of all, with the Lord, you have to understand that since the beginning, the Lord always had the underdog. It was always the underdog that he uses to glorify himself. So with this World Series, you had two underdog teams, the Cubs and the Indians. On game number 7, which number 7 is the Lord, I was noticing these games, what was going on, and I was getting really excited. And to be honest, I didn't really watch baseball as I should, but I started watching this game because it was interesting, especially since I'm seeing numbers. So when I'm seeing players move and play and hit, I'm seeing numbers doing stuff, So anyways, going back to that, the World Series was information about unity. So what I say about unity, because Jesus Christ is trying to show us that we had to be united, not so much as in one with another, but one with ourselves, one with our spirit, one with our God. So what you notice in this World Series in the stadium, the two teams, fans of the Cubs and the Indians, have one thing in common: their team, right? It doesn't matter who they're sitting next to, how rich you are, what you have, what you own. If you're different color, different race, different nationality, it didn't matter. We all had one thing in common, and that was our eyes was on the game. That's what it means to have one mind, one soul, one spirit, one accord. Everyone on both sides have one accord. We got to win this game. And so when we focus on the game, we're not focusing who's next to us. If anything, we're socializing the people next to us because they're a fan. They become our friends. It's like, oh, I was excited. We're sharing our experiences. So that's truth. That is the living of our spirit. So now, if you notice that throughout the whole game of 7, it was always like a fight, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then that rain happened. When I saw that rain, I just got excited because I knew what was going on. It was a 17-minute delay, which is John 17. Again, this is the Lord's doing. Now, when we started that 10th ending, it was just excited. It was exciting because you see how everything is moving. Everyone's on their feet. No one's seating. They're just like on that. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? You know, on edge. You know, and that was Jesus Christ is trying to show us, that we had to be united in our spirit, in our soul, in ourselves. And when we do that, first of all, with ourselves, we could be united with the person next to us. And we have one mind, one spirit, one accord, you know. Now, when the Cubs won, I was just jumping off in my living room, you know, and I was getting super excited, not only because of the Cubs won, but because what the Lord just did, you know. And so you have to learn to put each other's differences. There is no me and there is no you. Everyone has their own walk. Everyone has their own journey. And when we compare each other to one another, that's when we fail. Truly, that's when we fail. And I learned this on the walks of the Lord. You have to be united. Once you adapt yourself to the Lord, right? You're adopted to his kingdomship, right? You're his son, right? This is what happens. When you being more involved with him, when you welcome him in your life, he gives you a different mind, a different perspective, different heart, different spirit. And when you find the difference within yourself, you find freedom, you find joy, you find truth, right? And so what happened, this relationship you have with the Lord grows into this phenomenal, amazing, unexplainable divine love, right? And everyone gets quiver when they hear love. They just because of the worldly experience. It's like, I don't know love. This love, what is this love? See, the love we know is the worldly love, but this is the Lord's love. And what happened is, when you have that love from the Lord and you love the Lord, so you have that relationship, just like in the beginning when Adam had that relationship with God, you know, it was a pure joy, pure freedom, you know. We lost that. But when you find that again, when you're born in the Lord again, new mind, new perspective, new things that happen, when you get that relationship, the way you interact with everyone else, including like closest to you, like your family, your wife, your children, are more appreciated. So because you love the Lord, you love your wife more, you love your kids more, you love your friends more, you love your neighbor more. But if you don't love the Lord, what you're trying to do is love your wife, love your kids, love your neighbors, and love your friends. It's impossible. It's impossible to do on your own. You know, you can't be told to do this, and then you can't feel it. You can't feel it. But once you have this relationship with the Lord, you develop this relationship in your heart, and you have this joy of love and freedom. And because you have that joy and love, now when you interact with people around you, you just express that divine love that just glorifies through you and through others, not in a judgment way, not in the discouraging way, nothing. You're more of an encourager. You're more of a pick-me-up guy. You know, you're more of it's about you now, you know, because it flows to you through to everyone else. It's no longer about you. You had to take yourself out of the equation, deny yourself. And when you do that, you live more united with the freedom of the Lord. I'm not lying to you, but it takes time to develop. I've been following the Lord for 4 years now, over 4 years, and it took time for me to understand this. But this is what development is. This is the wilderness, you know. But once you are transformed with the Lord, you're transitioning towards entering the kingdom, you know, because now you're a new creature. You're a new being. You're no longer like a human being. You're a spiritual being. This is why you can't mix flesh and the spirit, because they both contradict each other. They don't like each other. You know, your flesh wants you to do this thing, but your spirit wants you to do this thing. You know, it starts with you. And once you have that different perspective, you change. You start speaking different. You start seeing things different. You start hearing things different. You start responding differently. So the World Series basically is an analogy of John 17, using the underdog to glorify God to the world. Unless we understand Jesus Christ in that aspect and analogy in that way, we will still fall behind misunderstanding what the truth is. See, everyone came about it differently. 2,000 years. you have a division of Christianity. There's like over 2,000 Christianity different, because they're more in the movement. It's like I think this is what the Lord wants. I think this is what it is. This is how the religion is developed. And then some of the religion is a control system. You know, this is what you have to do to enter the kingdom of heaven. But it's just not true. Jesus Christ gave you freedom. Once you accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior and you're born in him, guess what? You're free. There is no religion. You're freedom. Okay? But that's just me. Don't believe me. You have to find out for yourself. You have to seek the Lord and read the book yourself, because that's where you find truth. That's when you find who's lying and who's telling the truth. So, but yeah, John 17 is unity. First with the Father and Son in yourself. And then from that, you develop, you grow, and then you unite with others. Now, keep in mind, just because you're a believer, right, and you feel this joy, this experience, right, you want to involve everyone. Not everyone's in that same path. Not everyone sees the world the way you see it now. You know, don't be put down. Don't let yourself down, because it is difficult. I felt like, why are you not involved? Why, you know, it starts to hold you back. You know, some people have their own journey. They had to find that same path with the Lord, like I did, like you did. So if they're not near you, if they feel like they want to live their life worldly and misery and suffering, that's their choices. That you have to respect their choices. But that doesn't mean you had to follow them. Remember, once you become a new creature, this newborn person, you're supposed to be surrounding with yourself with people in higher levels. You know, if you put yourself in higher levels, guess what? You grow in higher levels, right? But if you keep yourself around people who put themselves down, who doesn't see like a future of themselves, they continue to walk in the path of misery, of accepting the fact that this is all it is. You know, like a slave to this world. You know, that's their choice. They already know who you are. They already see the transformation that happened in your life, and how much joy, how much smile you have, how much laughter you have, how much happiness you have, how much things you do. They already see that, but they don't want to find out what changed in you. You know, they want to stay in their area. So you have to respect that, and you have to have patience with that. So then you have to keep your distance, because what happens if you surround yourself with people who doesn't know the Lord, and they stay stuck in the worldly way, slowly you start bringing yourself down, and then you take longer to move forward and growth, you know, because you're trying to satisfy people around you. So that's one of the difficult things. So you need to know how to control your faith around people and be patient with other people and set boundaries, you know, and don't let them take away your freedom, take away your joy. You know, everyone has their own belief, right? You have to respect their belief. You give your perspective and they give their perspective. They walk their way and you walk your way. You know, I can't tell you that the way I see things is truth, because I'm still in the flesh. You know, you have to find out for yourself, you know, and you seek the Lord. That's why I will say I'm just a servant, nothing more. You know, because I'm not looking for any followers. I'm not looking for any praising and anything like that. At first, you know, when you start walking with the Lord and you start accomplishing, you start looking for praise. You know, like, oh man, no one's praising me, and it's just you start seeing the evil one moving his way in. You know, trying to keep you down. Look, you're doing all this for nothing. You know, you're not gonna get praise for it, and it doesn't matter, because that's the flesh. You know, you got to cut that out. You know, you have to, like, boom, here you go, Lord. Because why? You glorifying the Lord. That's all that matters, man. And you're smiling. You know the Lord is praising you. You know the angels in heaven are praising you. You know they're just like, oh my goodness, look at him. Oh wow, look at what he's doing. They're praising you. You can feel the presence. But the people around you, the closest people around you, they're not gonna praise you. They just look at you, man, you're crazy. Why you're so different? You know? And instead of finding out why you're so different, they decide to keep their distance. But that's their choice. Remember, free will. We still have free will, man. But what the Lord is amazing, what he could do through us. So anyways, the World Series is an analogy of unity, you know, knowing how to become one in mind, spirit, you know, one in accord. You had to know how to move in unity. And it starts with you and the Lord as unity, harmony. You have to harmonize. Your walks has to harmonize with the Lord's. It's no longer you on your own and waiting for the Lord to do something. It's about taking action in faith with the Lord, harmonize with the Lord. All right. I don't want to keep rambling, but I just wanted to share this because I know it's taking too long. I just didn't know how to go about it, I mean, I'm sorry. I apologize too. I got distracted too because I've been doing so much with the Lord. I've been here and there, over there, and right now I'm getting ready for my 55-mile run on November 11th that the Lord placed in my mind, and I'm just gonna go and claim my victory. It's called Goliath and I. It's awesome, but yeah, look into it. Watch that Game 7 again. Game 7, and look what's going on. Look at what's going on spiritually. Don't look at the worldly thing. Just look as a spiritual side. A lot of times we see things, like small, right straight on our sight, but you have to see the whole thing. You have to see what's going on as a oneness. What's the oneness movement? All right, brothers and sisters, God bless you. I love you, and I hope you continue to seek the Lord and let him guide your spirit, and let him revive you. When you revive is when you start doing things different. You start responding different. You start hearing different. You start seeing different. You start speaking different, and you can look back and you see the development that you are doing with the Lord. It's not a religious thing. It's a freedom thing. But I'll see if I could get something together. I mean, that's a lot of stuff I got going on. I have so much in my mind that I just want to blah, I mean, I think I got like maybe 2 years worth of information in my mind that I could probably but also I got to figure out how to cut down in minutes because I know a human attention span is very little. So also I need to start making some more like a visual thing to explain things, because it's one thing about speaking it that people may get it or people may not, but you had to do a visual graphic stuff to understand how things run, and I'm working on that. So eventually I will get on it. I can't make any promises because then I'll be lying. So I will try to come around it. I just want to share this because I love you guys, and I know a high percentage of people who are believers are not actually walking in freedom, and I want you to walk in freedom because you have salvation, and all you have to do is claim it and start walking that path, transitioning into your kingdom. I love you, brothers and sisters. God bless you. You're amazing, and don't ever let anyone put you down. Don't let the world define who you are. You have to define who you are. God bless.